Man, who doesn't love a good plot twist? It's ultimately one of the most challenging things a writer can ever do. A plot twist can either be so good that it changes and evolves the story and the characters in a way that's completely unexpected, or it can unexpectedly be the shittiest thing known to mankind. It's a risky but necessary thing to do, and you gotta have respect for the writers who have the balls to change the story like that, because sometimes it can be the most iconic and most memorable part of the story. Whether they succeeded or not is entirely up to you. But in this case, I want to talk about the writers that did succeed for me. The plot twists that still blow my mind to this day. These are my favorite plot twist of all time. Side note, I don't usually do top 10s, so in this case, I'm going to put plot twists from both movies and TV shows. And the twists aren't going to be ranked in any order. Except for the last one, which is 100% my favorite plot twist. So yeah, let's do this. Steins Gate, Mayuri. Okabe and his friends are a group of scientists that intend on inventing a time machine. They do it by any means necessary, including using a microwave as a prototype time machine? Yeah, this anime is wacky. But they eventually crack the code. By talking to John Titor and allowing more scientists into their group, they find a possible way of time travel. Although physical time travel is impossible, it's possible to send someone a message through time. A D-mail, if you will. It's an awesome concept because it shows how impactful the butterfly effect is. Something as simple as an email can alter history. And they put this theory into good use. They try to win the lottery, they help a friend find an IBM computer, and they even help one of their friends change their gender with a time machine. Like I said, it's a pretty goofy anime. But that's the thing I love about this. The tone and the theme of the story is presented as a wacky, clever anime. But all of a sudden, while the others are celebrating the success of their research, Mayuri dies. Because of their investigation into CERN, Mayuri, the sweetest girl in the anime, dies. I love this plot twist because the show entirely does a 180. What was once a wacky, goofy sci-fi anime immediately turns into a dramatic thriller. One moment they change history, and in the other, Okabe's closest friend dies in his arms. And to make matters worse, it was one of Okabe's friends who betrayed them. It's a wonderful anime. I highly suggest you to watch it. American Psycho, the ending. This is probably the most iconic scene in the movie, alongside Paul Allen's murder. You see, throughout the whole movie, it had a strange vibe to it. Strange events would constantly occur. People would act weird towards Bateman. Sometimes he would literally admit to murdering people. And they would be like, yeah, sure, why not? One night though, overwhelmed with Detective Kimball investigating him, Patrick begins a killing spree. He murders cops, an elderly woman, and a receptionist. That last one makes sense, cause, fuck receptionists. Knowing his eventual downfall, he confesses to his lawyer about all his murders, including Paul Allen's murder. He expects to meet him at a restaurant. The next day, they meet up at said restaurant. But the lawyer expresses just how funny the voicemail was. He thinks it's just a prank. Patrick assures the lawyer that it's real, but he doesn't believe it. Patrick bites back again and repeats to him that he killed Paul Allen. The lawyer doesn't believe it. And then,
why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
Because I had dinner with Paul Allen twice in London. Just 10 days ago.
No, you...
Throughout the entire movie, the reason why it had a strange vibe to it and weird things would happen was because Patrick was mentally ill. More than he ever realized. Most of the things that happened in this movie are explained by the people's reactions. The employee didn't react to the blood-stained floor because there was no blood. Lewis didn't react to the dead body because there was no body. The foreign lady with the laundromat was fighting with Bateman because the sheets weren't stained with blood. They were clean. He made up most of the things that happened. Another thing, this entire confession is strange because Patrick knows what he's doing is wrong. Serial killers usually justify their insanity, but he isn't, and serial killers aren't supposed to feel fear, let alone cry when confessing. They lack certain emotions, and I highly doubt Patrick would react this way. But it's an ambiguous ending. What's real and what isn't? If he didn't kill Paul Allen, did he kill the homeless guy? Or the hookers? Is he a killer? Or is he just insane? And in knowing this, will he allow himself to seek help? Or is this the beginning of his descent to madness? I don't know, because the movie ends right there. Barry. What? Throughout 2 episodes, Fuchs, Barry's father figure, has been trying to make him confess to Janice Moss's murder. Turns out that the detective that's investigating it is an old friend of Moss, and in a desperate attempt to cover his own ass, Fuchs helps the detective. Barry refuses to talk about the situation, and he refuses to explain why he did it. Either he's in too much pain or he regrets the situation too deeply to talk about it. But eventually, Barry gives in at the worst time. In one of Barry's most random rambles, he accidentally spills the beans, and the detective has it on tape. Barry's destroyed. The scene is incredibly dramatic and personal. The camera lingers on Barry's face, showing a mix of emotions: disappointment, regret, acceptance. The detective implies that his friendship with Moss was a little deeper than we thought. He asks Barry if he knows how it feels to love someone and have some motherfucker take it away from you. Barry then apologizes for killing Moss. But then he shows a photo of some random guy and tells Barry that that guy is having an affair with his wife. And the detective tells Barry that the reason why he tracked him down was to hire Barry as a hitman to kill the guy who's fucking his wife.
What?
My god, I love this ending. I laughed my ass off with this cliffhanger because it's too perfect. It completely subverts your expectations and it's just fucking hilarious. I remember saying the exact words Barry did. The name of the episode is called What? The build-up and the payoff is so wonderful. They were building up this guy as some boogeyman for Barry's past, as the first guy to take Barry seriously and treat him as the actual murderer he is. He could have been the one to take him down, and Barry would have completely accepted it. But nope, he wanted to hire him to kill the guy who's fucking his wife. This ending's awesome. Watchmen, 35 minutes ago. Rorschach and the Night Owl finally find the costumed killer, the person who killed the comedian, the person who caused distress to America's nuclear weapon. The person who framed Rorschach and sent him to prison was none other than Adrian Veidt, a former member of the Watchmen. And the next thing he intends to do is commit genocide, to blow up dozens of cities. But why do this? What does this achieve? Well, in doing so, the world would have peace. How does killing millions result in peace? Well, the world needs a public enemy. If they don't have one, then they'll fight themselves. If this doesn't happen, then the world will end by nuclear holocaust. As Adrian brilliantly explains it, he'll kill millions to save billions. And the plot twist here isn't the fact that Adrian's plan almost makes sense in a twisted way. What's fucked up is that he already did it 35 minutes ago. Millions upon millions of people died within seconds. Dozens of cities have been annihilated. And remember when I said that the world needed an enemy? Who's to blame for all this destruction? Well, Adrian, being the pussy that he is, instead of taking the blame, he blames Dr. Manhattan for it. And I find it poetic in a way. The world's strongest weapon ended up being used against them. The team is stunned. Usually villains in their world are quirky people with masks, but this is bigger than anything that they've ever faced. I don't need to glaze Watchmen more than everybody already has. There's a reason this is a masterpiece. It's just a brilliant plot twist. The Boys. Billy butchered it. Okay, so I wrote this video before the season 5 trailer dropped, It does kind of undermine the impact of the twist, but I'm still including it because it's genuinely a great twist. I know this season's controversial, but not only do I think that this season's good, but this ending, this cliffhanger, is nothing short of a masterpiece. Long story short, Billy hates soups, and so do we. Throughout the whole show, all we've seen is how corrupted and evil those with powers are, and it's affected everyone's life one way or another, especially Butcher. Butcher has never shown any sympathy towards the heroes. Good or bad, he hates them. They've taken the one person that made him whole, so he hunted them all down. He not only assembled a team to do it, the hypocrite took V-24 to kill them. He gained superpowers to kill superheroes. He became the thing he hates. And again, he doesn't care whether they're good or bad. They're all the same to him. Eventually, in Season 4 they find out something terrible. A virus that destroys all the soups. All of them. Once Butcher hears this, he immediately wants a hold of it. But taking V-24 took a blow on him. He now has a couple of months to live. And throughout the entire season, we see him wear out. He even apologizes to old Huey about the mistakes he's made. He's at his lowest point. Eventually, the boys team up with yet another soup to take down Homelander and the rest of Vought. But Butcher appears out of nowhere. Everyone is confused but certain of what might happen. Another thing I forgot to mention. It's been implied this season that V-24 made Butcher gain another superpower, something darker, but we never get to see it. Until now. His chest bursts open, revealing tentacles. Huey begs for his friend to stop, but the fucker already made up his mind. He tears the soup open, and he betrayed the boys. Kimiko is about to attack Butcher, but Huey stops her. Not for his sake, but for hers. It's suicide. Butcher just showed that they never really knew him. They were never friends. They were just convenient for him. And now they're not. In order to kill Homelander, the devil, they needed someone worse. And Butcher is that person. I love this ending because everything in the storytelling told us that this is Butcher's finale. He'll never get to grow old with the boys. He doesn't have the strength to keep going on. This is his final goodbye. But what drives him is hate. And on he goes to kill every soup in the world. A soup genocide. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the original anomaly. There's two incredible plot twists in this movie, but my favorite has to be the one before the ending. Gwen Stacy visits Miles Morales. Although she came to see him, that wasn't the reason why she visited his universe. She came to track down the Spot, and before she leaves the universe, Miles leaps into the same portal as her. They meet some old friends, save some people, but more importantly, Miles saves Inspector Singh. The universe suddenly glitches out. The Spider Society arrives and attempts to take care of the quantum hole, and they take Miles into HQ. Turns out that Miles disrupted a canon event. They explain what a canon event is, a chapter in which every Spider person's story must repeat, an inevitable event in their lives. These events are what shapes Spider-Man, and an anomaly is what disrupts that event. Miles was the anomaly of that event. The captain was supposed to die. It's what's canon, and it's happened before. Miles suddenly realizes that his dad is becoming captain soon. His death is canon. Miles argues with the society, and as he argues, we see more and more Spideys surrounding him. It doesn't matter how much he argues with them. This event must happen. Long story short, Miles fights the society and escapes HQ. And while he's fighting Miguel O'Hara, he reveals something insane to Miles. He was the original anomaly. The spider that bit him, the one that gave him his powers, wasn't from his universe. It was from Earth 42. It wasn't canon. He was never supposed to be Spider-Man. And because of this event, there's a universe with no Spider-Man. If the spider hadn't bit him, his Spidey would have lived, he would have stopped the collider and the Spot wouldn't exist. Despite hearing this, Miles still fights back. He believes that we choose our own canon event, that if a life can be saved, it's his job to save it. He's gonna do his own thing. He then blasts Miguel O'Hara, and he disappears from the site of the Spider Society. I get goosebumps every time I see this scene. The music, the animation, the voice acting, everything genuinely elevates the emotions of the scene. It's a masterpiece of a twist, and it's really well thought out. Breaking Bad, Brock. This one's a little complex, so bear with me. Walter fucked up. He lost Gus's trust. He favored Jesse over the business. He killed one of Gus's meth cooks. And overall, he's screwed beyond repair. He can't flee the city because he doesn't have enough money. He doesn't have Jesse because he knows he's unpredictable and egotistical. Walter has nobody. He's completely vulnerable and helpless. And now Jesse has no need for Walter. He knows how to cook without him. So Gus now has every right to kill Walt. He stays in the house, ready to confront Gus's men. He waits for the entire day, not only waiting for death, but welcoming it. Eventually, Jesse barges in and points a gun at Walt. Jesse accuses him of giving the ricin to Brock, a 6-year-old boy. Walt ponders as to who could have done this, but eventually, everything clicks. He even hysterically laughs. Gus, who has used kids in the past, who has cameras all over, and who has been 10 steps ahead of everybody. Gus. And the one thing he needed was Jesse's approval to kill Walt, and now he has it. Gus used everyone all along. Jesse and Walt finally agree that Gus has to go. An episode later, and with much hard work, they finally kill Gus. Walt and Jesse can rest easy now, knowing that Gus's metaphorical gun is out of their heads. But Jesse tells Walt that Brock wasn't poisoned with the ricin. It was some plant named Lily of the Valley. Jesse and Walt immediately brush this off though, assuring that they did what needed to be done. Walt sighs in relief, and for a moment, we believe this sigh comes from a place of naturality. Gus tried to kill him and his family, and now Gus is gone. Anyone would react this way. Well, you're wrong. Walt actually sighs because his plan worked. The final shot of season 4 is one of Walt's backyard, and in that yard, he has a plant called Lily of the Valley. Walt poisoned Brock. He was at an all-time low. He was defenseless and had nobody on his side. And there was a truth to his lie. We did see him waiting for Gus all day. We saw him ready with the gun. But what we didn't know was what was going on in Walt's head. The motherfucker had a whole day to orchestrate and plan this insanely complicated scheme. He poisoned a child to save his own ass. And he used Jesse's humanity against Gus. That's... wow. It's one of the most insane finales I've ever seen. They did it extraordinarily well. They didn't tell us that Walt poisoned him. They didn't show it either. They implied it. It's brilliant. Bravo, Rowlet. Wait, wrong universe. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Harry the Horcrux. In The Half-Blood Prince, before Snape betrayed Harry in Hogwarts, they find out that Voldemort has cast a terrible spell, one that allows him to put his soul into 8 individual items, allowing him to live till those items are broken, or in other cases, killed. These are Horcruxes, which explains why the Dark Lord has lived for so long. Throughout the Deathly Hallows Part 1, the gang are on a mission to seek and destroy every one of the Horcruxes. Some are necklaces and some are chalices. One of them is even a diary, the one that Harry stabbed in the Chamber of Secrets. Eventually, in the final movie, in the middle of the epic battle of Hogwarts, Snape dies from the hand of Voldemort, and his final request is for Harry to take his tears. Harry pours the tears into the pensive, allowing him to peek into Snape's memories. We find out several things. For one, Snape was in love with Lily Potter, which explains Snape's resentment towards Harry. Dumbledore not only knew that Malfoy was ordered to kill him, but he asks Snape himself to take Malfoy's place. But the most important part is that the night that Voldemort was about to kill the Potters, the night he tried to break the prophecy, that very night, Lily shielded Harry against Voldemort. He casted a spell and the curse rebounded. When that happened, a part of Voldemort's soul latched on to Harry. Harry speaks Parseltongue. He can peek into Voldemort's mind. A part of Voldemort lives inside Harry. Harry is a Horcrux, and like the rest of the Horcruxes, they must be sacrificed in order for the Dark Lord to fade. Harry must die. Man, I got no words for this. It's just brilliantly written. Bravo, oh, come on! Attack on Titan, The Future Memories. This is often regarded as one of the best plot twists in all of anime. It's revealed that Zeke and Eren both have a shared goal. A nihilistic goal. They want to euthanize Eldians. That way, Eldians are spared from a lifetime of misery. A life of being at either the mercy of the Titans or the mercy of the Marleyans. And in order to do this, Eren, the founding Titan, and Zeke, a person with royal blood, need to make contact. And they succeed. Kind of. Zeke and Eren are now inside the paths. Zeke reveals he fully knew Eren would betray him, and he claims that this is part of Grisha's brainwashing. He raised Zeke for years. He used his son as a tool for his rebellion. He fights for freedom the same way Eren does. Zeke believes it's no coincidence. So Zeke's mission before initiating the euthanasian plan is to help save Eren from his father, help save him from his torment. Zeke had no one in Marley, but he'll always be there for his brother. They tap into the future memories, or in this case, the past memories. Since the paths are outside of space and time, both Zeke and Eren literally spend a lifetime in those memories, observing every inch of Grisha and Eren's relationship. But Zeke realizes, Grisha never forced his beliefs onto Eren. Grisha never even mentioned the truth behind the walls to him. Eren was naturally curious and drawn to freedom, and he was always rebellious. Eventually, they reached the day that everything changed. They follow Grisha towards the Race family basement. It's then revealed to us that Grisha wasn't going to kill the family. He's a doctor, for Christ's sakes. He wouldn't kill children. Zeke is once again confused. Grisha kills this family. History can't just not happen. What led to...
何をしてる? 立てよ、父さん。忘れたのか? 何をしにここに来たのか? 犬に食われた妹に報いるためだろう。復権派の仲間に、ダイナに、クルーガーに、報いるために、進み続けるんだ。死んでも、死んだ後も。これは、父さんが始めた、物語だろう。
Eren did it. He influenced his father to murder the Race family. Zeke spent a lifetime trying to pinpoint when Eren was manipulated by Grisha, but it was Eren who manipulated Grisha. He pulled all the strings, and since both Grisha and Eren share the memories of the future, after killing the family, Grisha sees how his actions have affected the future. His decision leads to the rumbling. Overall, he feels exhausted and guilty. He pleads to the heavens for forgiveness, and in his final moments of the memory, Grisha takes this time to apologize to Zeke for neglecting him. He feels ashamed. Grisha is emotionally destroyed, yet he still asks for Zeke to please stop Eren. Zeke taps out of the memory, and it's revealed that this was Eren's plan all along. He needed Zeke so that he could unleash the rumbling, so that the titans within the walls can break out and flatten everybody. Not just Marley, but the fucking world. Man, Season 4 is bleak, but unfortunately it's not as bleak as the next one. Oldboy, the ending. Oldboy has one of the most insane endings ever put to film, and also one of the most complex ones, so be prepared. In the beginning of the film, Odesu is an ordinary drunk asshole. We see that despite him having a daughter, he's reckless and he's just a disaster of a person. Suddenly though, immediately after getting out of the police station, he's kidnapped and held hostage for 15 years, his only entertainment being a TV. In those 15 years, Odesu learns martial arts, he hallucinates, and counts the years passing by. Imagine that. Isolation for 15 years, away from your family for a fraction of a lifetime. It's hell for him, but he has one goal in mind once he escapes. Find whoever did this to him, and kill him. This is a revenge story. Odesu is suddenly released, and along the way, he meets a beautiful woman. He grows fond of her, but inevitably, they both learn that their love puts her at risk. A man on the path of revenge should never allow others on the same path. But the man who tortured Odesu is still out there, and he still teases and mocks him, like a child. Eventually, after saving the woman, she confesses that she cares for Odesu too. She loves him despite knowing that she would be put in harm's way. So they make love. Odesu now has more determination to find out who this bastard is, and why he held him hostage for 15 years. Odesu murders dozens of people working for him, and eventually, Odesu finds him, or rather, the guy let himself be found. His name is Lee Woo-jin. Him and Odesu used to be classmates. It turns out that Lee Woo-jin had a taboo relationship. He had a deep love for his sister, and Odesu saw this. We know that before being held captive, Odesu was reckless. So what do you think a person like this does with this information? Well, he spreads rumors. He tells everybody about Lee Woo-jin's relationship with his sister. His sister starts hearing the rumors, and the pressure is way too much for her to handle. She even hallucinates and thinks she's pregnant with her brother's baby, so she lets herself fall into the river. Lee Woo-jin is destroyed by this, and he blames Odesu. Odesu. Now we know why Odesu was held captive for 15 years, why he's toyed with this man for more than a decade. But he has another surprise for him. A purple box. Oh dear God. This one's something. Odesu opens the box, and he sees photos of his daughter, the daughter that he never got to see grow up. And as he flips through the pages, he realizes that his daughter is the woman he fell in love with. Lee Woo-jin hypnotized both Odesu and the woman before they even met. That impulse to meet each other wasn't fate, it was choice. Lee Woo-jin's choice. He made Odesu fall in love with his own daughter. And what's worst of all is that the woman finds herself with a purple box in front of her. Odesu stops her from knowing this terrible secret. He begs Lee Woo-jin to please never to let her know this secret. She doesn't deserve the same shame he feels. He regrets spreading those rumors. He even assures him that he'll never spread rumors again, by cutting his tongue off. Lee Woo-jin leaves satisfied, with Odesu bleeding on the floor. But before Lee Woo-jin can even feel remotely guilty, he aims a gun to his head, and takes the same fate his sister did. What I find interesting about this movie is that it's a revenge story, but the ironic part is that at the end of the story, Odesu doesn't have his revenge. It's Lee Woo-jin who has his revenge. Years later, Odesu contacts the same hypnotist that Lee Woo-jin used, and he wants the hypnotist to make him forget this horrid secret. She splits Odesu into two, the monster and Odesu. In the end, Odesu is found in the snow, and the shot kind of parallels the shot of his freedom in the beginning of the movie. The woman finds him, and she tells him,
사랑해요, 아저씨.
Odesu smiles. But this ending is ambiguous. Who was left in the snow? Was it Odesu? Or was it the monster? Just like in the previous segments, I wanted to talk about why I love this ending so much, but I feel like this scene kind of speaks for itself. It's without a doubt my favorite plot twist of all time.